Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and in this video, I'm going to go over the new 4K Ultra HD announcements and pre-orders for August 26th, 2022. Release dates and technical specs are subject to change. If there are any changes or additional retailer exclusives, I will update them in a future video. Also, be sure to check out my previous 4K Blu Ray pre-order videos for titles you may be looking for and were not covered here. Direct Amazon links to the titles available for pre-order are listed in the channel's community page. The latest from the Marvel Cinematic Universe is arriving on September 27th, and that is Thor: Love and Thunder. It will be getting a standard slipcover edition available at your local and online retailers, and as per usual, HDR and Dolby Atmos for the audio. As for retailer exclusives, Walmart will have their version available in store and on their website, which includes a unique cover as well as an enamel pin. I expect this to be in stores on that Tuesday, and you should be able to order it online shortly. And of course, Best Buy will have an exclusive Steelbook edition of Thor: Love and Thunder, which will go up for pre-order very soon. I'm really digging the artwork for this one, and since I am a Steelbook collector of the MCU, this will definitely be added to my collection. In last week's pre-order video, I mentioned that DC League of Super Pets was coming to 4K, but now we have official confirmation that October 4th is in fact the release date, and the technical specs have been confirmed as well. It will support HDR and a Dolby Atmos audio mix. On October 11th, the Universal Classics Monsters Collection Volume 2 will be released on 4K. It will contain The Mummy, The Bride of Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera, and Creature from the Black Lagoon. As with the first collection, expect HDR for the grading and their respective DTS audio mixes. There's no word yet if these will be getting individual releases, at least in 2022, but rumor has it that the Volume 1 collection titles will be coming out individually on the same day. Stay tuned to a future pre-order video when that is confirmed. October 11th, Universal will also have the 60th anniversary edition of To Kill a Mockingbird arriving on 4K. Expect HDR and a DTS 5.1. I know a lot of classic film fans have been looking forward to this one, myself included, so I'm anxiously awaiting to pick this one up. Lionsgate continues their re-releasing of their 4K movies, this time as Steelbook editions, with the latest Punisher Warzone arriving on October 18th. It will have the same specs as the single release before, HDR and Dolby Vision and a Dolby Atmos. This will be available exclusively at Best Buy and is currently up for pre-order now. Hold on to your wallets, everybody, because November 1st is promising to be very heavy on releases. If you recall last week's video, Top Gun Maverick is scheduled to come out that day, but a recent slew of announcements have been made for the same day. So for starters, Elvis Presley in Blue Hawaii is coming to 4K. It will reportedly support HDR and a DTS audio mix. Paramount Pictures is reportedly releasing Quentin Tarantino's long-requested Pulp Fiction on 4K. No details or tech specs have officially been announced, but I expect an HDR grading at the very least, and probably the same DTS 5.1 as previous releases. The artwork, of course, has not been announced yet, but rumor has it that a standard and a Steelbook edition of the film will be made available for the same day. When official specs have been announced, I will update them in a future video. November 1st will also see the release of several Christmas classics on 4K. First up, A Christmas Story is coming out. It will have HDR, and I probably would expect to see the same audio from the previous releases. Another Christmas film that a lot of people would put under the holiday classics line, Elf, is also arriving on 4K November 1st. One of my personal favorite films to watch during the holidays, The Polar Express, is also arriving on 4K the 1st of November. I have to say, I'm pretty curious on how a 4K upgrade with HDR is going to make this film look, but we'll all find out together. Official specs and updates will come in a future video. One of my all-time favorite Christmas films, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, is also going to be arriving on the 4K format November 1st. HDR grading is expected, and probably the same 5.1 from previous releases. I bet everybody remembers the holiday classics that show up on your TV screen every year. Well, many of them are now getting 4K releases. First up, Frosty the Snowman is expected to come out individually on November 1st. Santa Claus is Coming to Town is also coming out on the format the same day. And probably the most well-known and watched every year, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer will also be arriving on the 4K format. No word yet if the lesser-known sequel Raging Rudolph will also be coming, but one can hope. And for those that want all three specials in one place, you're in luck because the original Christmas Classics gift set will be coming to 4K Ultra HD the 1st of November. A Steelbook edition of Arnold Schwarzenegger's The Running Man will be coming to 4K on November 1st. It will reportedly support HDR and Dolby Vision. Now, the audio specs have not officially been announced, but probably a 5.1 or 7.1 audio mix. No word yet if a standard release will also be coming the same day. I know a lot of people will be happy with this one. The 4K edition of Saturday Night Fever is coming on November 8th. It will support HDR for the grading, and the audio specs have not been announced, but probably a 5.1 audio mix. As far as Hollywood classics most requested on the 4K format are concerned, this one will make a lot of people happy as November 8th will see the release of Casablanca on 4K Ultra HD. It will reportedly support HDR, and I could possibly see Dolby Vision as well, and the same mono track from previous releases. November 15th will reportedly see another Quentin Tarantino film coming to 4K, as Reservoir Dogs is coming out. It will support HDR for the grading and probably the same 5.1 from the previous edition. This briefly went up for pre-order over on Amazon, but it since went down, but I expect this to go back up shortly. Keep an eye out on my channel's community page. I will post the link when it goes live officially. Paramount Pictures will have the first Wayne's World coming to the 4K format on November 15th. It will support HDR and a Dolby True HD 5.1. On November 22nd, Kino Lorber will have one of my personal favorite westerns, High Plains Drifter, arriving on 4K. The tech specs have been announced, so HDR and Dolby Vision for the grading and a DTS 5.1. Kino Lorber has also announced the tech specs and release date of Mystery Men on 4K, HDR and Dolby Vision, as well as a DTS 5.1. I personally think this is pretty underrated, so I'm excited to check this one out on the format. Reportedly, Shrek 2 will be arriving on the 4K format, also on November 22nd. Now, the tech specs have not officially been announced, but if we're going based off the original Shrek film on 4K, which came out last year, expect HDR and a DTS:X audio mix. When official specs and artwork have been unveiled, I will update that in a future video. The spin-off movie Puss in Boots is also arriving on 4K the same day. As with Shrek 2, HDR is expected and a DTS:X audio. This makes sense that it's coming out because of the sequel that is being released shortly after, so fans of this film, you could definitely pick this one up at the end of November. Best Buy has a listing for War Games arriving on 4K on December 6th. Now, official specs have not been announced, but expect HDR and probably a 2.0 or 5.1 audio mix. When that goes live, I will update that with official artwork in a future video. Paramount is prepping the 4K Ultra HD release of 48 Hours for December 6th. I would expect HDR and possibly Dolby Vision for the grading, and at the very least the 5.1 ported over from the existing Blu Ray. On November 13th, the 4K release of Police Story 3's Super Cop is coming to the format. It will reportedly support both HDR and Dolby Vision, and I expect at least a native language 5.1. Kino recently announced that The Longest Yard, the original 1974 film starring Burt Reynolds, will be coming to 4K Ultra HD. HDR and Dolby Vision are expected for the gradings and a DTS audio mix. No official release date has been announced from Kino, but stay tuned to the channel for that update. No release date has been officially given, but word is that a 4K 20th anniversary edition of 8 Mile is coming to the format in the near future. Early retailer listings have indicated that Irving Berlin's Holiday Inn is coming to 4K Ultra HD in the near future. It makes sense, the movie's celebrating its 80th anniversary, and I expect an announcement of the official release date very shortly. So those are the newest 4K Ultra HD announcements and pre-orders for August 26, 2022. If you're interested in any of these titles, head on over to the channel's community page for direct links or use the Amazon affiliate link in the comments section below. Also, let me know what of this video's titles announced are you planning to pick up for yourself. And thank you to all my Patreons for your continued support. It is so greatly appreciated. If you would like to support me through Patreon, I will leave a link in the description of this video. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.